Guess what? Oji is back. Joining us now is Oji with stories trending around the world. Back from the US, UK, everywhere and everywhere.
You can give them my details. No problem.
Give her the coordinates.
Rufai on fire.
You know,
Dr.
you were supposed to see me in London, you ran.
That's true. That's true. We're supposed to hang up. But I've been away for a while, so I thought it was good to just come back quickly.
With the new hairstyle.
And you know, I missed you.
Fab.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
You notice everything. But you know, I missed too many things when I was away, and I feel like, right, Dr. Abati, let me start with you. Congratulations. Congratulations on your masters. I mean, are you putting us to shame? Which kind of thing be this?
You should read out the book on our behalf.
Complete. And I heard that you're getting a PhD as well. You're going for a PhD. Are you doing that?
He's the one applying for the PhD on my behalf.
He said it. Oh, wow. Well done. I know. Over the weekend when I saw it, I was filled with joy. Well done.
So
well done.
PhD,
Yes, correct.
law, then you will not go for another PhD.
No,
that time let's go for PhD.
Yes, which one?
I've always said it.
Well, I hope that a day will come when the Nigerian government will take a decision that, look, resources will be allocated on the basis of number of certificates.
Correct.
And then they will say, bring your certificates to the central bank.
Dr. Abati, you know,
you get more money from the central bank of Nigeria.
It's great.
In this country,
That will encourage everybody.
Dr. Abati, in this country, your certificate I know of.
Yes.
Some people's certificate. Is it this country where some people's certificate, the school they finish for,
Rufai now. Must you shake the table?
They are graduated before the school started. Oh wow. Is it this same certificate?
Rufai, off your mic. Turn off your mic.
When you ask, some people will say that if you release their certificate, it will cause them personal damage. Is it in this certificate
now, Rufai, it's enough.
Your certificate, Unilag. I can't speak for other people's certificate. What's the name on their certificate?
All right. At the end of the day, Rufai. At the end of the day, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. That really is. And of course, another thing I miss is Ayomide's birthday. I cried when I missed that. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You are
so
brilliant, beautiful, and you know the word that I love. Phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
Thank you. More grace, many more years to come. Rufai, me and you will talk about that beautiful shaker afterwards. Well, all right. I'm glad to be back. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Well, let's head over to the United Kingdom now, where the leader of the country's Conservative Party, Kemi, has yet again denigrated Nigeria, saying that Nigeria destroys lives and that she does not want the consequences of the country's terrible government to play out in Britain. Badenoch spoke last Thursday while delivering her first speech of the year.
I grew up in a poor country, and I watched my relatively wealthy family become poorer and poorer and poorer, despite working harder and harder as their money disappeared with inflation. I came back to the UK, age 16, with my father's last £100 in the hope of a better life. So I have lived with the consequences of terrible governments that destroy lives, and I never, ever want that to happen here.
All right, of course, this will garner reactions. Ayo, let me take them before I come to you. This is from Adewale, who wrote, "Dear Kemi, we have moved past you. Your relentless efforts at demarketing the country of your ancestry has yielded big fruits. Ask about Deputy December in Lagos this Yuletide season. You'll get your answer." Well, another Twitter user, Biomed, wrote, "Is she saying the truth? Yes, she is. But is she meddling in Nigerian affairs? Yes. She needs to focus more on the problems of the British people. She can't keep poking Nigeria unprovoked. She forgot the British government policy keeps Nigeria poorer and poorer and poorer because of the benefits they got from Nigeria and its citizens." Ayo, your comment on Kemi Badenoch.
I've expressed myself a number of times how I feel about what Kemi Badenoch says, leader of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom, the first black woman to occupy such a position, and a woman who happens to be from Nigeria in terms of her origin. This was her first speech this year, 2025, at Onward, a British think tank group. And she was using her personal experience to buttress a point about how, about how it was important to not allow a government to destroy lives or make people poorer. As the first tweet or the second tweet said, was she telling the truth? To some extent. You know, the challenge about conversations or speeches like this is that there's an element of truth, even though it's also hyperbolic. There's an exaggeration there as well. She said she left Nigeria with, and her dad with the last £100. I mean, that has to be quite, there's a big question mark.
That was what got me, really.
Question mark there. I think one thing that Kemi must understand is that you can actually deliver your speeches, talk about the progress you want to make without denigrating your country. A lot of Rishi Sunak never had to do that with India, and we know that India and Nigeria have similar challenges, even though they seem to be working out there as a bit better. Why it appeals to sensibilities of some Nigerians is because it speaks to their realities even till today. The truth is that today some policies have impoverished some Nigerians, and so they're feeling they can connect with what she's saying. However, in terms of diplomacy, it doesn't even look good for the United Kingdom. We have enjoyed a cordial relationship with the nation for so many years, and so to begin to speak, even though it's from personal experience, is quite sad. But unfortunately or fortunately, she's entitled to her opinion. But I think that it's time we stop giving her, this attention, because it looks like she's feeding from it. She loves it, and it's giving her that leverage. You heard the applause after she said that. It is cheap publicity. It's an easy way for her to appeal to the British public, at least those who already think this way about Nigeria.
Well, she's absolutely using that her platform in the way that she feels. Some people have applauded her, saying that she needs to speak for Nigeria. I mean, we're talking about Nigeria getting poorer with some low-income earners, the policies and all of that, inflation, and the interest rates getting higher. A quick comment, but because I wanted to tie these two together.
No, Auntie Jemima Badenoch. I think she has said enough about Nigeria. Her ambition is to become Prime Minister of Great Britain. She's already, leader of the Conservative Party. She says she's looking for reform. So that Britain doesn't become Nigeria. Fine, we have heard. But if she's talking about reform, let her start with the party that she leads. That's the more urgent assignment that is before her. Because the Conservative Party, in the last poll conducted by YouGov, is slipping behind Reform UK. Reform UK, Nigel Farage, Reform UK, has already overtaken the Conservatives. Nigel Farage has gained about 15% since the last election. The Conservative Party has gone down by about 10%. So she should be more interested in positioning our party, because that is the primary assignment that she has been given. Whether she left Nigeria with £100 or not, who cares? Some people left Nigeria to relocate to Britain with a small bag of gari and a bottle of granite bought by the roadside, so that at least when they get to London, they will have something to eat. She's even lucky. She has £100, and from £100 now she's eating steak every lunch hour. She's spending about £25 having steak.
Well said, Dr. Abati.
Good for her.
Good for her. Well, talking about policies that have impoverished Nigeria. In another development, a former Anambra State Governor, Peter Obi, has decried the severe hardship faced by low-income earners in Nigeria while condemning exorbitant point-of-sale charges affecting petty traders, and pledged to write a letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Peter Obi made the comment when he donated 30 million naira to Paul University Awka, a tertiary institution owned by the Anglican Church in Anambra State, in line with his promise to support educational institutions in Nigeria. I mean, we're seeing Peter Obi always, talking and always making all these gestures, especially with education. We have even heard that independent monitors have, revealed that Obi has spent maybe approximately about 1.5 billion naira in 2025 alone on humanitarian efforts. I wanted you to tie in that comment he made about writing a letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, especially about the severe hardship that low-income earners are facing.
Yes, I'm happy that he made mention of the fact that point of sale, they charge too much. But the truth has to be said. Okay, what you were saying was 2024.
Did I say in 2025? Okay, in 2024 alone, he has donated over 1.5
But the question
billion,
his letter, yes, very good one, but it will not do much.
Okay.
Because there's an ecosystem and there are many charges. And the reason why these people charge a lot also is because of banking infrastructure, not availability of currency, as it were, and the fact that banking infrastructure has not been built across board. So these agency bankers come into play. Yes, and they fill a gap, don't get me wrong, in society. But the question is, how can we be able to build up infrastructure of internet banking? As of today, now, most of the banks can't even pay their fees for what's it called now? This one that it takes to get USSD.
USSD.
And that has been a problem lingering for a while now. So these people have come in there. So what we can also do is to be able to talk into the banking ecosystem, the agency banking ecosystem, to be able to do something about the tariffs being charged. But these people also hedge, because they too are faced by the Nigerian challenge. A lot of these operators of POS, they get robbed and all of that. So the money they also charge is also like to be able to protect them against all of these challenges. But apart from that, kudos to him on the giving. I think this is even the second time he's giving to this Paul University. Cumulatively has given about 50 million. And when you calculate how much Peter Obi has given to people, it's even more than what he spent on his election campaign. So that's a show he leader that has a heart for people. But to Auntie Jemima, Uncle Tom, Kemi, I'm happy that Dr. Abati raised the issue that Kemi cannot be a Falano. You know what they call a Falano? A Falano, she cannot remove the log in her own eye. It's another person who she's looking at. And I'm going to tell you what Kemi is doing, the game she's playing. You see, the truth is, when they told Kemi that Nigel Farage has usurped her in the post, she said it's a lie. In fact, she was fighting the statistician. When Kemi came out to give this policy statement, she didn't say anything tangible. She said she was thinking around the plan and the strategy, because people talk policy but they don't know how to implement it. So Kemi is empty to a large extent. So she masks the emptiness in rhetorics. And where is the greatest place to attract? She gives what they call red meat to right-wingers by denigrating our own country, saying, oh, Nigeria is the bastion of socialism, nothing works. You can see how socialism is very bad.
Right.
But she forgets that the socialism, free education and other thing, it was what paid for her father's education, it was what paid for the country she had, it was what subsidized with the ISL she went to, and all of that. So she should continue in this game. It's not going to change the fact that she's never going to be white enough for the right-wingers.
All right.
And to a large extent, she has her own challenges.
Just a comment. Mr. Peter Obi has done well donating to, all causes, whether it's a Christian religion or to Muslims or to the displaced people. We always encourage philanthropy. However, he says he's going to write a letter to President Tinubu.
Yes.
Well, given the relationship between him and President Tinubu, I'm not sure that letter will be allowed to get to President Tinubu's desk. Okay. The best he can hope for is to get a rebuke from either Mr. Bayo Ononuga or somebody else within that team. They will say he has come with a negative response to them again. However, the point he has raised is a very valid point.
Okay.
We are at the mercy of the POS people. We are at the mercy of the banks.
Yes.
Do you know that the banks no longer have cash to give?
It's nonsense.
Some banks will tell you can't get more than 20,000 naira.
They call it
what is anybody? What is anybody doing about that?
Yeah.
And the people, the POS people, they have cash. The banks have no cash.
Yes. Well
it's
said.
a curious situation that we have on our hands.
Yes. Well,
but let him not bother about writing letter. Well, he has raised the point. He has raised the point.
I think it's okay too. The letter could be good as well as his tweets. All of
that's if they don't send this letter back to him.
Well, all right. We're all speaking.
Okay, maybe an open letter.
Yes, like the way Obasanjo does as well.
Okay,
No problem at all. It's great that these leaders of thought continue to express our frustration to the president. Well, I wanted to take this very important story in Niger State, where Governor Umar Bago has prohibited heavy-duty trucks from using the one-way route through Diko Bridge following a tanker explosion that killed 87 people on Saturday, January 18th, when a tanker conveying petrol crashed in the area. The governor made the announcement when he visited the explosion site at Diko Junction. Bago expressed sadness over the loss of lives, describing the incident as pathetic. I know we have discussed the story at length early this morning. I wanted to just, express my condolences to the families and the victim. I know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has, also expressed his condolences and has already ordered the Minister of Information to order the, Ministry of National Orientation to continue to enlighten Nigerians over these horrific incidents. Let me quickly take Bukola Saraki's tweet. He wrote, "The horrific petrol tanker explosion that occurred yesterday at Diko Junction, Niger State, claiming the lives of at least 80 people and injuring many more, is a devastating tragedy that demands immediate attention and action. This incident is a grim reminder of the risks Nigerians take to survive and highlights the poor state of our road infrastructure and inadequate vehicle maintenance, which together contribute to such accidents. Addressing these systemic issues is essential to prevent further tragedies and ensure the safety of all citizens. My thoughts and prayers are with the Niger State government, the victims, their families, and the entire community affected by this terrible loss. May their souls rest in perfect peace."
Amen.
Really, really sad story. Well, let's take this other story. Social media was awash with reactions over the weekend after the transmission company of Nigeria announced that the presidential villa has been thrown into darkness over rising cases of theft of electricity cables by vandals. TCM, as well as the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, confirmed that a 132 kV transmission line and underground cables supplying power to central parts of the Federal Capital Territory and its environs were vandalized. The Guardian's headline caught the attention of many Nigerians. It read, "Vandals steal cables supplying presidential villa electricity, throw Tinubu into darkness." I mean, when I saw this comment, people were just making a mockery of this. I mean, what sort of effrontery is this? I think
the vandals
have
a morbid sense of humor.
Come on.
A morbid sense of humor. It's their own cynical way of saying, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Because they steal cables elsewhere, they affect the national grid elsewhere, they throw the people into darkness. They say, okay, let the people of Aso Rock also have a taste of it. Yeah. After all, we are all citizens.
Yes, absolutely. That we are all real citizens.
There's no Nigerian more equal, and I think it's great. Yes. I say it's great, but I can understand the poetic justice of this in terms of, no, it's not great. Still, but I think it's important to understand the psychology of Nigeria. Nigerians. We're talking to the NOA Director General earlier on, and just like our values, the way we think, it's not just in Aso Rock, but vandalism across 18 lines like that. It is deplorable. We are stealing ourselves blind. When people start, it's jungle. It's a jungle. When people start to steal from themselves, there's a problem. But destroy themselves or destroy their infrastructure, there's a problem with that.
All right.
All right. Vandalism is no respecter of authority, constituted authority.
Well, before we end, what's trending today?
Nice one, Peter Obi. Nice one. Kudos to you. You're always on top. You're really doing a lot for people. Really doing a lot. Doing a lot of humanitarian work. Every time, always giving, donating. Just imagine one person, just one person, 2024, he donated 1 billion. Just come off for in pocket, give it out, and not expecting anything in return. Imagine this kind of person. You trust this country in his hand. He's going to do a lot. Kudos to you. Thank you very much for all you do. Thank you very much. And again, that letter, it's serious. It's a good idea. It's a good thing. They allowed the letter to get to Tinubu. Anyway, you said it's going to be an open letter. Who Tinubu will stick to this, because it's getting too much. It's getting too much. Taxing a lot of these small businesses. They let you gain. They are supposed to gain. It's getting too much. Anyways, hopefully. But thank you. Don't stop doing what you are doing. Continue to give back to the society. Continue to help. And the major thing is, he doesn't select. He's everywhere. He gives to anybody, no matter your denomination, your church, no matter where you are from. He gives from the east. He gives to the south, to the west, to the north. He gives to everybody. Nice one. Thank you very much. Anyways, please share this video and follow this page or subscribe to this YouTube channel, please.